Hey there, what is up, Plant Community? Green Thumb here. So, today is September 7th, and it's hard to believe that we're going to be dropping down in temperature during the night. Because, boy, am I not going to like having to store everything. Not that I don't mind storing everything, I just wish it was warm enough where I could just keep everything outside, but that's not the case. So, I figured today we'll do the garden tour, the whole garden tour, before things really get dug up. Because I'll be coming around October and things will be starting to get brought in. So I think this will be the last garden tour. So I'll just give a tour of everything before the sun goes down. Sun's going down now earlier. So Ponytail Palm. It's done wonderfully this year. I kind of heard it a little bit, but look, that's grown, all that's grown. It sucks. I'm going to have to really bring them in. Now, there will be some things I'll stay outside, like this will stay outside for most of the year. Unless we get frost or something, then I bring them in. Cacti down here, little cactus garden, that'll be brought in. Australian tree fern, be kept outside for most of the year until we get like a hard frost or freeze. China doll, it's done all right this year. It's a lot of stems have been cut back, so now it's only a two trunking tree, a double trunking tree, however you want to call that. Lemon cypress will be kept out most of the year. It'll be kept out until there's a chance of frost. And then right here, pygmy date palm has not done much this year, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I repotted them into a bigger pot, a nicer pot. Not too much bigger, though. Because I'd much rather it be root bound than to have a plant that's going to grow way too quickly for me. But we have these new fronds that were coming up and are now starting to unfurl, but it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late by the time some angry drivers there had to pause for a minute. Had to pause my whole video. Anyways, it's going to be by the time I bring it in, it ain't gonna produce no new fronds out here, so that is what it is. Then here we have my calla lily. It's not done much. It'll probably die back to the ground and probably come back next year. More likely it will. Other one I have over here, I'll probably store dormant. My red banana, my Siam ruby, has not done much this year. Of course, I kind of got in a little late, and it didn't really get the warm temps to really just burst out in growth. I'm sure it will next year if I can keep it alive and keep it going. Some old raggedy leaves there, but I'm just gonna let those go until until I bring it in. But we do have two new leaves, so yay. Elephant ears, alocasias. They didn't really do much either this year. I think that's mainly because we haven't been getting much water, and it just hasn't really been a warm summer like I would have loved it to have been. Canna lilies, they did all right this year. Not as tall or as big as I wanted them to. These guys did spread. Now, even though I could keep them in a zone 6, I'm not going to keep them. I'm going to dig them up and store them for the winter. These guys down here, my red cannas, I will probably keep those in the ground in this little microclimate. Just because I didn't do really anything this year besides maybe put up a couple of those leaves. So if you ain't really growing for me, I'm not really going to keep you. I'm just, you're You're not that important. You're like too common here. The red ones are just too common here. Now, if I had this in the ground, yeah, I'd definitely protect that and mulch it over. You can actually protect them by putting them a foot deeper than the pot in the ground, and they'll actually come back for you every year. And if we look, we got a flower starting to come up there, Florensis. I think I said that right. But yeah, whenever that flowers, I'll definitely have to showcase that, and that'll probably be the only flower. Wow, I can't talk. That'll probably be the only flower I'll get this year from this. And I have 2 rhizomes in there, and they're just spreading like crazy, so I'm definitely gonna dig those up just to split them up next year. Maybe get some more, maybe to sell locally. And then here we have the Musa Baju Cold Hardy Banana. Did not do much this year at all. Again, I think a little bit of it has to do with the factor that we have not really had a warm summer. July was mild, I'd say the least. But yeah, it wasn't really a warm summer. And I'll probably try to protect the trunk of it, even though that's not a true trunk, that's a pseudo-stem. With the leaves, I'll let the frost hit it, let the leaves die, and I'll probably wrap the leaves around the pseudo-stem, kind of like what it would be like in the wild, and yeah, try to protect it that way. See how that does. Root system should be fine. That's why I've been keeping all the lower leaves and all that, and haven't really trimmed it up into a tight position. But yeah, hasn't done much for me. I planted it a little late too, so it was mainly worried about laying down that root system so that way it could come back every year, compared to, say, if I just planted it during the spring, kind of planted it a little late. But you know what? That's okay. I'm sure it'll do fine. And then my cordylines, my Hawaiian Thai plants, they grew just fine this year. I actually have no complaints with them, besides the big one I did have. I had a really big and tall cordyline of the Hawaiian Thais, and did not do good this year. And the tall one just died, so it didn't do good this year. Just guess if I only had it, and once I put it in the ground, it just said, yeah, no, I'm good. All the leaves blew away and died, but I'll be digging these up, storing them for winter as well, because they're kind of getting a bit of a trunk on them right there. There's an old dead leaf I could take off, but we're starting to get a trunk, so I'll definitely store these. We can see it got a little burnt, and it got burnt this summer. I was trying to tell my friend that sometimes these things do tend to burn out in the direct sunlight, even with the variegation, so we gotta be a little careful with them. And she thought that was crazy, but I think I have a theory of why they burnt, and that's because of the sidewalk. Because if we look at this, we can see where the leaves did burn, but in the back, they did all right. They did fine. I think it's just a cement, kind of gave it a little urban heat island effect. My Norfolk Island pines, I must say, I am very disappointed in them. They're just now really starting to grow, and they're not going to get. They're more likely not going to get their new foliage out by October, and I'll have to store them. I am really disappointed in all 3 of my Norfolk Island pines over here. Just because they didn't really grow. I think a lot of that has to do with the factor that I repotted them this year. Seems like every time I have to repot them, they kind of grow slower. And I don't think it was just that too. I think it was the cooler temps this year, the drier air that we unusually had, because usually it's nice and humid here. And I know this guy definitely suffered, but surprisingly, he's growing better than the ones that didn't. So I don't know what's up with that, because my brother's girlfriend fell over my fence with my ferns, and yeah, I knocked this all around, and I had to get him rooted before I put him back up front. But yeah, I mean, look at that. He's doing better than the other guys. You can see it got damage right here. That's the part of the stem that got cut off. But yeah, did not do much this year. But there's always next year. Maybe next year will be warmer. Um, Here we have my fishtail palm. Did not do much this year. I don't think it helped that I had to split it up either, just to give one to Indie Palms. But yeah, it didn't do much this year. Disappointed in that too. It did give me some foliage down at the bottom, but I really wanted this to get nice and tall. And then here, my cardboard palm that I split up. Some of the old ones did not do good, but it looks like we're getting some new foliage out from there. There goes Brock's dog. But yeah, this one's doing good though. Then we'll go over here to the Bush on Fire Croton. Also did not do much this year, and I even repotted it, but it did not do much. I think a lot of that has to do with the cooler temps. So yeah, then there we can see we have a Tridescania growing in there, or Wandering Jew growing in there, and so yeah, he's kind of growing with the crotons. So yeah, that's interesting. Kind of seems like you get a small little cutting of them, or just a root, and they come back and just grow for you. Then here we have my Majesty Palm, which I've gotten questions asked on this. Kind of disappointed with him too. He didn't really grow much this year. But, you know, we did manage to get a good frond out of him, and this good frond, and this kind of half frond there. Of course, growth was getting stunted before I repotted it last year, and last year it didn't really do much besides give me a few fronds, and this one happened to be one of them that was kind of stunted, but we're getting good new fronds. And then my Colocasias, they kind of bloomed a little late, and I feel bad for them because they're just really getting started, and I gotta dig them up. I gotta dig them up by October 20th or before then, because then we get chances of frost. So yeah, kind of disappointing there, but is what it is. I'll just have to start them early next year in the house and adjust them to direct sunlight. Trachycarpus fortunii, very proud of this thing, very happy with this thing. It grew quite fast this year. We still got a new spear going, doesn't skip a beat. Already rooted through the pot, gotta get a new pot next year, so yeah. My Livistona chinensis, Chinese fan palm, proud of this too, did pretty good. Shot out new spear after his spear pull. I mean, come on, I can't really complain about the growth on this when one of my biggest trunks literally spear pulled, so you know. And then over here we have my Diune spinulosum cycad. Gave me some studded fronds. Don't know why it did that, but it did that. So yeah, maybe it's because I put all the flowers in there. Maybe the flowers just are too tightly packed, but I'm gonna let those completely die off anyways, because I'll throw it out in the cold, and these things won't like that. So is what is there. My Enseti morellii, or Ensetian banana, or red banana. Not as tall as it was last year, honestly. It kind of makes me more upset that I did not get tall. Sad. Hopefully, by the time we reach October, it will get taller. I'm giving this thing just water almost every day, but I'm not having to because, well, we're dropping into cooler temps. So, right here, it's kind of really up to my belly button. So, yeah, not Not as tall as it was last year. I kind of really wish I did better with it last year, but we will this year, and it'll be a bit more taller. Cordyline Australis did good. We got a lot of trunk on it. Found out there was more trunk buried underneath that I lifted up. So yeah, I think it did pretty decent. I mean, it didn't grow nothing spectacular because we went in a drought and I treat this guy like an Indiana native and barely water him, but you know, is what it is. Rose of Sharon's just absolutely exploded in growth so much I'm going to have to trim it back, and I'll probably have to do that when it's dormant because, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's getting a little too wide for a space. I want to get more into a tree form. Then here we have my White Bird of Paradise. We got a new one there, new little shoot coming up, but yeah, just it did not grow as much as I was actually expecting it to being put in the ground, but again, that'll be something I'll dig up and save for the winter time, like I have done every year when it was treated like a house plant, and go on from there with it. And then there, my gold mop cedar. They call them cypresses here, but they're not. Didn't do much this year. I think that's because we went into a drought and I literally tried to water this thing with the rains. So yeah. And then here we have my lemon eucalyptus, 2 of them. One of them did die. These are the 2 in the front. They did pretty good, honestly, for being in a pot. I'll probably take them and try to overwinter them. And yeah, once I overwinter them, they should do just fine. Then this here is my mom's little, man, what is the name of that? Madagascar palm. There we go. Doesn't really belong in this area because it's supposed to be Texas natives and things like that. But, you know, just kind of going with the flow here. And it grew a little bit and it did good this year. He's not doing so good. I'll probably, honestly, what I'll probably do is I'll cut all the fronds off of this guy and I'll probably throw a cloth over it and try to protect it that way for my zone pushing. But yeah, that's about the max of what I can do there. This lemon gum tree did good. Lemon eucalyptus. My spineless prickly pear there did pretty good. One right here that's covered in spider webs. It's not looking the best. I'm actually not expecting him to make it through winter. Yeah, I think I might take another piece off next year if it doesn't make it and try to plant there and try to zone push it. Now we'll go to the back. Alright guys, we're getting to the back. So I will say everything back here for the most part did really good. Of course the grass does good no matter the conditions. I've seen it taking 3 hard hits with frost before and the stems were still green. It was trying to shoot out new shoots, but wow, it's windy back here. Yeah, it did good. This guy right there, my cold hardy hibiscus, did really well, I think, this year. This guy, for the first time being put in the ground, he did phenomenally well. So yeah, and then sadly I gotta dig him up. So yeah, my little guys right there, I forget the names of them. They didn't really do much this year, and it was hard to get them in the ground. I think that's mainly because, well, we've been dropping down into chilly temps, and they don't like that. My Cordyline Australis in the ground did pretty good. I'm going to try to protect that this winter and try to get some hot hands and throw it down on the soil so that way it can kind of keep the container warm. I'm trying to talk a little loud here so you guys can hear me because of the wind. Here we have my other lemon eucalyptus. I'm going to try a zone push him. See if I can't get him through. Okay, now that the wind's died down. Then here we have my X-Syrian elephant ear. Did good. And And then everything here, including my natives, did pretty good. My staghorn fern, it's doing all right, needs watered. Of course, all my ferns, all my hostas did good. The ferns are native. God, choose a bonsai to take in tonight because it's gonna get chilly. My weeping fig surprisingly did good. It did really well considering that's been chilly. This guy, he won't care. I mean, he's been outside. He's been in the weather, only thing I don't let him see is frost, but you know, he's tooken cold. So he'll just keep going. And then over here we have my Philly fig. He surprisingly has done good even with the chilly temps and has gotten quite tall this year. So yeah, I'll probably let him get a little bit taller indoors, and I might chop him off somewhere. Probably pinch him at the tip, keep a few leaves, and I'll choose where the branching will come out of. But yeah, the dwarf umbrella plant. Macho fern did pretty good. Of course, I always try to keep this guy outside. About fell. I was sucked. Really about fell on that thing. But yeah, my macho fern did pretty well this year. Just gotta make sure frost doesn't hit it again. Because frost hit the first time, it came back just fine. But yeah, Pothos did good. This guy did really well. So well, in fact, I had to trim it down just so I can try and make it more of a tree form. Because if it gets 8 foot tall, I'm going to choose where the branching comes out from. This guy here, I don't know what in the name is wrong with this guy. Here we got more Tridescania. It just popped out of nowhere, but he's been having a hard time, man. I tell you what. And usually this guy does not have a hard time growing, but yeah, this one has had a hard time. This particular Dreissena marginata variegata has had a hard time. This guy, yeah, had a hard time with him. Just pests left and right, man, non-stopped. Ferns have done all good. Ferns have done all really well. My Pachira aquatica done good. Everything back here, for the most part, has done good, really. This little palm tree right here, I don't really expect much from whenever temperatures start to get chilly, and I don't really expect it to grow. Disappointed in my bamboo a little bit here. Bamboo palm could have grown a bit better, a bit faster, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. Still love you, buddy. This guy, he hasn't grown much either like I expect him to, but I contribute that with the kind of chilly weather. Dreissena Florida Beauty did good. He's done good. He's done good. My Ficus Burgundy has done really well. Even though it got damaged by hell, still love you. Still gonna take you in. Not gonna abandon you. This guy got hit by frost last year and completely defoliated and came back, and he's doing good. I don't know the name of that plant, but it's doing good. This guy, I don't know what's up with him. Gave a flower, it looks like, but yeah, I don't know what's particularly up with him. My blue star fern that I almost lost came back just fine. Orange Bird of Paradise. I lost all 3 stems. I'm down to 1. Will he make it next year? Disappointed. Avga sugarcoated. Very disappointed in my Monstera Deliciosa. It has 1 good leaf that put out some of that, whatever you call that. Then the other one just went back to solid. So, I don't know, it keeps giving me crap. I might just get rid of it completely. Because I don't need plants that are going to give me crap and have a big, beautiful, well, a plant that's supposed to be big, beautiful, and showy and not even do anything. Because it was supposed to go over where the grass was, but guess what? It's not doing anything. Alright, guys, sorry about that. Had somebody play music. Don't want to get copyrighted. Let's see here. We have the dog over there. Looks like he's grown pretty good. Yeah, looks like he's grown really well. Big old muscular boy over there. Yeah, he knew I was talking about him. Don't pull mom, buddy. Buddy, you're dragging mom. Better take him in before he gets destructive. That tail's a freaking hurricane. But we have Ficus religiosa. Fun fact, I found out this was a cutting from the original tree. My nursery is not supposed to receive things like that, but they did. So yeah, I'm very happy to have it. Again, all my ferns did good. This guy was a rescue. He's actually done pretty good. My feather calathea, rattlesnake calathea in there did really well. Yeah, again, everything back here did really well. My grandpa's funeral plant, may he rest in peace, was a very kind and loving guy. Better quit talking about him before I get a little teary-eyed. But anyways, yeah, all these guys did good. I guess it's cypress now because they've updated everything. Used to, you could grow them here, but I guess you can grow a European cypress, L. woodii, in the cold. And yeah, I'm probably gonna keep them outside in the cold then, because yeah, if I could keep a tree outside that's particularly cold hardy, it will come back for me every year, then you know what? That's what I'm going to do. And hope to God he does just fine out here. All my bonsais, they did good, did decent. They didn't do much growing. Again, I just don't think it was warm enough for a lot of my bonsais to grow. These guys, they flowered twice because we've been getting chilly weather. But yeah, it's really about everything, guys. Everything did kind of decent out here. But yeah, otherwise than that, guys, keep it real. And definitely keep it tropical.